everyone, welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself Professor Reena Mishra, SST College of Arts and Commerce. Today I am going to take the topic deduction from gross total income. The contents for the today's presentation are the introduction of deductions, what is deduction from the gross total income, what is the difference between the deduction and the exemptions, principles of deductions, deduction in respect of savings, contribution to pension fund, and following are the different types of deductions, that is medical insurance premium paid, maintenance of handicap dependent, interest on loan of higher education, deduction on interest on saving account, and deduction for handicap resident individual. Each and every detail, each and every deduction under chapter 6A will be explained in the further slides. First of all, we will have an introduction as to what is the deduction. The deduction under chapter 6A was introduced by the Income Tax Act 1961. It contains in chapter 6A and in the form of deduction from deduction section 80C to 80U as per our syllabus. We have to study the details regarding the deductions right from section 80C to section 80U. The various deductions mentioned chapter 6A contains the deduction for certain specific payment. A set of specific deduction considering various socio-economic factors have been provided under the chapter. The main intention of allowing the deduction by the Income Tax Act is to provide certain kind of socio-economic benefit, that is to encourage the saving habits among the individuals and to have the health insurance and to provide the financial provision facility to the blind and physically handicapped person, so on and so forth. Chapter 6A deductions are important tool for effective tax planning. And chapter 6A is also helpful for the effective tax planning because the deduction under chapter 6A allows to minimize the tax liability by allowing the deduction. Now, what is the difference between the deductions or exemptions? In both cases, certain reduction in terms of amount is allowed. But what is the basic deduction? What is the basic difference? The deductions are laid down in section 80A to 80U. Basically, the deductions from the gross total income are mentioned from section 80A to 80U. And various different kinds of deductions are allowed under different sections. And this is mentioned in chapter 6A of Income Tax Act. Whereas exemptions are laid down under section 10 of the Income Tax Act. The amount which is exempted is entirely ignored from the taxable point of view. Now, what are the different principles which are considered while taking the deductions into consideration? Deductions are specified in section 80C to 80U. Actually, the deductions are mentioned from section 80A to 80U. But as far as the university syllabus is concerned, we are going to focus more from 80C to 80U. After that, deductions cannot exceed gross total income. It is always taken into consideration that the total deduction from the gross total income must not exceed the total income. Let's say the taxable income is 1 lakh rupees and the deduction allowable is 1,20,000. So maximum deduction will be only 1 lakh rupees. It will not exceed the income. Payment out of taxable income. Again, while allowing the deduction, it is taken into consideration that the payment which is made towards different expenses is out of the taxable income. And then only that income will be, or that payment will be allowed under the deduction. Now, the very first deduction which we are starting to understand is the deduction in respect of saving. The first, the deduction in respect of saving is mentioned under section 80C. Now, This section basically contains the various items which is related to the different modes of saving, and the savings are actually which is approved by the government or recognized by the government, like life insurance premium, deferred annuity whereby the individual is doing the investment in for example ICICI Prudential Life Insurance Company, then Tata AIG, etc. And deferred annuity by government. Suppose if there is some scheme issued by the government and the individual has invested in this deferred annuity which is not refundable before the maturity, that is also allowed for deduction. Contribution to statutory provident fund, contribution to public provident fund, contribution to recognized provident fund. All the contribution by the employees to SPF, PPF and RPF are also considered for deduction under section 80C. Then the purchase of new house or construction of new house expenditure is also considered under section 80C. The further deductions under section 80C are contribution to superannuation fund, and of course this superannuation fund must be approved by the government. Then post office cumulative time deposit, tuition fees which is paid for the education of the child or a spouse, etc. The tuition fees may be the college fees or university fees, admission fees, or the regular tuition fees it may be. National Savings Certificate. Now any contribution made to the National Savings Certificate is also approved by government and it is allowed as deduction under section 80C. Unit linked plan, Dhanraksha, Jeevan Dhara, Jeevan Akshay, these are the various schemes, policies by life insurance company. The investment under these schemes are also allowed for deduction. After that, pension fund of UTI, mutual funds, home loan account of National Housing Bank is also allowed for deduction. Next we have conditions. Condition refers to the people, those who are eligible for such deductions. An individual and Hindu undivided family are eligible for the deduction for section 80C. Investment need not be out of taxable income. The investment need not be out of the taxable income, and the maximum permissible amount for deduction is rupees 1,50,000 or the actual expenditure. So whichever is lower, actual payment which is made under this various schemes, or 1,50,000, whichever amount is lower will be allowed for deduction. Next we have deduction in respect of contribution to pension fund, that is covered by section 80CCC. Now here also the deductible amount is rupees 1,50,000, but the maximum deductible amount for section 80C and section 80CCC is rupees 1,50,000. Individually also 1,50,000, and in consolidation of section 80C and section 80CCC is not allowed more than 1,50,000. The next we have medical insurance premium paid. This medical insurance premium paid is covered under section 80D. Now the covered individuals are: if medical insurance premium is paid for self, spouse and dependent children, the maximum exemption is restricted to 25,000 rupees or the amount actually paid, whichever is lower. The medical insurance premium paid for parents is additional 25,000 is allowed. And if parents are senior citizen, the deductible amount is extended to another 25,000 rupees, that is 50,000. But the total allowable medical insurance premium deduction is rupees 50,000. The total payment of premium in the form of medical insurance should not exceed rupees 50,000 as per section 80D. Now the different conditions which is taken into consideration while allowing the deduction is that the payment should not be by cash. Okay, so by any mode of payment other than cash. The payment may be online or any other instrument of payment, but must not be in cash. If the payment is made in cash, the deduction will be disallowed. Individual or HUF, that is Hindu Undivided Family, are allowed for such deduction. And the scheme must be approved by the central government or Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority. Whichever scheme, that is health insurance scheme, assessee is going to invest into, it must have the approval of the government. And the senior citizen, as we have referred this word senior citizen. So senior citizen stands for the person, one who is 60 years or above. Maintenance of handicap dependent, which is covered by section 80DD. Suppose if the assessee is taking care of handicapped person and suppose he is doing any expenditure on the maintenance of such person, or he is doing some insurance for the training or maintenance of such person, then he is allowed to the deductible amount of rupees 75,000. And in case of severe disability, that is if the disability is more than 80%, the amount extends to rupees 1,25,000. Now, of course, the deduction is allowed on the basis of producing the proper certification of handicap, and the condition for this is the person should be individual and HUF, and the disability must not be less than 40%. One more thing I want to focus over here is that the deduction is allowed irrespective of the actual expenditure. Okay, the flat deduction is allowed for as per this section is considered. The expenditure may or may be less than 75,000 or more than 75,000 in case of normal disability, but flat deduction of rupees 75,000 is allowed. Similarly, in case of severe disability also, the flat deduction of 1,25,000 is allowed irrespective of the actual expenditure. Next is interest on loan for higher education is covered under section 80E. Now, again, as we have already referred that the main purpose of the deduction is to provide the socio-economic benefit. So, this to allow the deduction which is paid in the form of interest on education loan is completely allowed. Irrespective of the actual amount paid in the form of interest on the education loan, the entire amount is allowed for deduction. Now, the condition is that this deduction is allowed for the individuals. The loan must necessarily be taken for the higher education, that is after completion of SSC, and the loan or expenditure of the education loan must have taken place for self, spouse or any children. Next is deduction on interest on saving accounts. Section 80TTA states that the deduction on interest on saving deposit in saving accounts is allowed to the actual interest which is received or maximum 10,000 rupees, whichever is lower. So, suppose the interest obtained on the deposit in saving account is rupees 8,000. So, the actual amount which is deductible is rupees 8,000. On the other hand, suppose the interest on deposit in saving account is rupees 12,000. So, in this case, the maximum allowable deduction will be 10,000 only. The extra 2,000 will be disallowed, that is, it will be taxable. Interest on post office saving is exempted up to rupees 3,500, and this deduction is allowed to the individual and the HUF. Now, deduction for handicap resident individual, section 80U. When the assessee himself or herself is a handicapped person, he is blind or is physically handicapped, in that case, out of the total gross income, the maximum, the allowable deduction is rupees 75,000 in case of normal disability, and if the assessee is suffering from the severe disability, that is the disability is above 80%, then maximum 1,25,000 is allowed. This as section 80 DD, this section also allows the flat deduction irrespective of the actual expenditure, and this deduction is eligible for the individuals and HUF, and the disability must not be more less than 40%. Okay. So in today's session we have covered the various deductions which is mentioned under chapter 6A. If you like this video, share it, subscribe the channel, and for the latest notification, press on the bell icon. Thank you.